Jai Shri Ram everyone. Welcome to another chapter of Setu Hanuman chapters. Today we will see chapter number 3, that is, the Immortal Lord Hanuman in Web of Time. The Immortal Lord Hanuman in the Web of Time. When Baba Mathang, Urva and other 2 Mathang's men were gathering honey, 6 Mathang women were gathering firewood at another place as that was their work assigned for that day. Among them was a girl named Urmi. Urmi is in her early 20s. From childhood itself she was getting seizures regularly. That day also, when she was collecting firewood along with other 5 women, she got seizures. Her jaws got clenched, her body started shaking and jerking. She lost her memory for a while and started behaving abnormally. As usual, she had sensed in advance that she was about to get a seizure. She alerted other women and situated herself at a safe place so that she does not get hurt. After the seizure was over, she lied down under a tree out of tiredness. Other 5 Mathang women resumed their work of collecting firewood. At the time when she got that seizure, Lord Hanuman had come there. The twin gods of health, the Ashwins, were there even before Lord Hanuman came. They bowed to Lord Hanuman and said, "O the Almighty Hanuman, we know that Mathangs are very dear to you and you can't see them in pain. But in case of Urmi, we are helpless. Despite applying our entire knowledge, we could not cure her seizures." It was a bright sunny day. The sunlight was falling on the face of Urmi after funneling through leaves of the tree under which she was lying. Lord Hanuman looked towards her and told to the Ashwins, "O the twin gods, yes, Mathangs are dear to me. I want Urmi to be cured immediately, but to cure her you must know her history. You must know about her past birth. Close your eyes. Let me take you through journey of her soul from past birth." The Ashwins closed their eyes. This is what they saw. Urmi's past birth was that of a peasant's wife in a small village. Once few monkeys lost their way from the jungle and came to that village. The children and unemployed men of the village started throwing stones on the monkeys. They chased the monkeys from one roof to another. They did not spare them even in the fields around the village. The monkeys were running for their lives, but they did not know where to go as the villagers were chasing them everywhere. This continued for 3 days and the monkeys could not eat anything for 3 days. They would run here and there from morning to evening and hide themselves somewhere in night. The 4th day they were very hungry and furious. It was already noon, but they had neither gotten food nor peace. They came to the roof of house of peasant's wife. This house was on the border of the village in a secluded area. It was separated from rest of the village from all sides. The monkeys felt comparatively safe on that roof. They were barely able to catch their breath that they sensed someone's presence. The peasant's 9-year-old son was standing on the uppermost step of wooden ladder so that only his head was popping out of the coping to see the monkeys on the roof. When the monkeys saw him, they screeched towards him so as to scare him away. The boy got scared and lost his hold on the ladder. He fell down and his head hit the ground directly. He fell unconscious. The village Sultan was called. Boy's father also came running from the fields. The Sultan started the treatment, but the boy's condition was serious. When the villagers got to know that a child has been injured because of monkeys, they gathered in large numbers with sticks in their hands to hunt down the monkeys. Monkeys ran away from that roof and villagers started chasing them, this time seriously with the intention of killing them. Monkeys got beaten up badly, but they kept running. There was no place to hide. After a couple of hours, they came back to the same roof because that was the only house which was separated from other houses from all 4 sides. When the crowd came to peasant's house to climb on the roof, peasant's wife asked them to leave. She did not let even a single person to go to the roof. She requested the crowd to go away as her child was battling for life. She shouted at the children who were throwing stones at her roof to hit the monkeys. She remained on the door of her house until the last person in the crowd went away. The charlatan asked for warm water. She went inside and put water on the wood stove to heat it. Her sixth sense was indicating that something very bad was going to happen, but she was reassuring herself that her child has suffered only normal injury and he will be all right soon. When the water became sufficiently warm, she took a glass of water to the charlatan. Her husband was near the charlatan helping in the treatment. He took the glass of water in his hand. The charlatan was rubbing the hands of the child. He forgot why he had asked for warm water. He did not know what he was doing. He was just pretending that he had full knowledge of what he was doing. The injury was deep inside the head. There was no injury visible to eyes. The peasant and his wife had full faith in the charlatan. The wife came to kitchen after giving warm water. In order to assure herself that everything is normal and to keep her fears hidden, she wanted to find some work in kitchen. She had already prepared the food. There was no work left. A thought came in her mind. She took some food and some fruits brought fresh from the farm. She climbed up the ladder with the food and fruits and threw it on her roof for monkeys. Lord Hanuman was meditating in a jungle at that moment. Thousands of people give food to monkeys every second, but when the peasant's wife gave the food to monkeys, an alert was heard by Lord Hanuman. He immediately got up from the meditation and summoned Kal, the god of time. When the Kal appeared, he asked, "O Kal, I was meditating upon the holy feet of my Lord, and I heard an alert." This kind of alert is heard when a devotee undergoes hard penance to please gods. Tell me who performed this penance to please me. I could not see it because I was myself busy in meditation. The Kal replied, "O the Almighty Hanuman, I also felt the vibration of such kind. The origin of this vibration was home of a peasant. What all I could see is that the peasant's wife gave food to some monkeys on her roof who were hungry since last 3 days. O Kal, the alert I heard was that for some highest act of devotion and service to Lord Vishnu and me. If this alert was triggered because peasant's wife gave food to monkeys, then who are these monkeys? They cannot be ordinary monkeys. Are they monkeys of mathangs?" Lord Hanuman asked. "Hanuman, mathangs live very far from peasants' home. They cannot come here. They seem to be ordinary monkeys only, otherwise how could they forget the way to jungle? I cannot see anything extraordinary in this act of peasant's wife. Let me rewind this act for you. Please see for yourself." The Kal rewound the act of peasant's wife and showed it to Lord Hanuman. After seeing the incidents of peasant's house, Lord Hanuman explained, "O Kal, the monkeys are ordinary, but the act of the peasant's wife is extraordinary. When a woman goes in kitchen, she thinks about her family. She thinks whether everyone in her family has had food. When the peasant's wife went in the kitchen, she got a thought about the monkeys sitting on her roof. She considered the monkeys a part of her family simply because they were on her roof. She offered food to monkeys out of pure love. She must be your sincere devotee, O the Almighty Hanuman." The Kal remarked. "She does not worship me because there is a myth in her village that women should not worship me. She does not believe in the myth, but she has to respect village customs. But she is a noble woman. Her acts are that of a sincere devotee. Her single act of offering food to hungry monkeys with pure love has made me indebted to her. O Kal, she may never pray to me when she gets in any trouble. Hence I may not be in the know of her problems. Therefore you have to tell me when she gets into any trouble so that I can protect her." Lord Hanuman told. The Kal knows about future of every mortal being. He calculated the future of peasant's child and told, "O the almighty Hanuman, the woman needs your help right away. Her child is in coma. As I can see clearly, he is destined to die exactly in 6 hours and 30 minutes. Only you are powerful enough to change the future and defeat the death." As soon as Lord Hanuman heard this, he immediately disappeared from the jungle and reappeared in the peasant's house in no time. Setu's note: in Ramayana period, Lord Hanuman used to fly with the speed of wind, but when he got the boon of immortality, he became free from the bondage of time. Now he moves with an infinite speed. Now he can move from one place to another in no time. The peasant's house was a well-built house as per the village standards. The boy was lying on a cot in veranda. The charlatan and boy's father were by his side trying to break his coma. Peasant's wife was moving from one corner of the house to another in nervousness. Lord Hanuman watched the patient from eyes of a human being. No visible injury was there on the boy's body. He was not bleeding from anywhere. Perhaps the injury was inside his brain. Lord Hanuman called Ashwins, the twin gods of health. Like other gods, the Ashwins are invisible for mortal beings. Also, the objects of mortal world do not object them. They can walk through a concrete wall without breaking it. They do not need to cut open the brain to do brain surgery. Their instruments can enter into the brain without cutting it. They performed brain surgery on the boy, but the boy could not be brought back to consciousness. The Ashwins said, "O Hanumana, there was an injury inside the brain. We have healed it. Now his body and brain is perfectly all right. Still he has not come back to consciousness. We opine that this boy cannot be saved because his consciousness has already moved towards next birth. It is impossible to bring his consciousness back to this body. It is going to take another body." Lord Hanuman thanked the Ashwins and allowed them to leave. If someone is bleeding profusely, it can be said that he/she is going to die. If someone is in a dangerous situation, it can be said that he/she is going to die. As was declared by Ashwins, the body and brain of the child was perfectly healthy. As was visible to a human eye, there was no danger around the child. Still, he was going to die? Was there some danger which was not visible to human eye? If the child dies, a human being would blame it on God or devil or some invisible power. But for Lord Hanuman nothing is invisible. He can see everything. He could find the cause of death and then save the child. He thought for a moment and then summoned Kal, the god of time. Human beings cannot see time. They can only feel it. They can feel that time never stops. It always moves in one direction, that is towards future. It never moves towards past. For Lord Hanuman, time is visible just like any other thing. When he summoned the Kal, time became visible to him. Time is a giant web of thin strings. It looks like a giant spider web. All mortal beings and all the objects of this world are caught up in this invisible giant web of time. Unlike spider web, the strings of Kal web are always moving. They move in one direction. That of future. A bunch of strings of time looks like a conveyor belt. Whether a human being is standing, sleeping, running, dancing or doing anything for that matter, he/she is always moving on a bunch of invisible strings of time. When the Kal appeared, Lord Hanuman looked towards the child in the web of time. Lord Hanuman said, "O Kal, I can see the child comfortably lying on the strings of time. I don't see any string broken. I don't see any reason why he is going to die in 6 hours. The Kal replied, "O Hanuman, look closely at the strings on which the child is lying. These strings are moving. and taking the child forward in the direction of future. There is a dead end ahead. In exactly 6 hours, the child will reach that dead end. Can you see that dead end over there? It is just 6 hours away from the child. Lord Hanuman carefully looked towards the dead end the Kal was pointing towards. It was not a dead end actually. The strings of time were taking a sharp 90-degree bend downwards at that point. The child was going to fall at that point and die there. Only Lord Hanuman and the Kal were able to see that the child was going to fall at a bend in strings of time. For a human eye, the child was comfortably lying on a cot which was not moving at all. When the child dies, a human being would only see that the child has stopped breathing. Only Lord Hanuman and the Kal could see the dangers in the web of time. Lord Hanuman said, "If we can save the child from falling at that sharp turn in the web of time, we can save his life." The Kal said, "O Hanuman, if the child remains on the same bunch of strings where he is now, he will surely meet the dead end because those strings are moving towards the dead end. To save his life, he must be shifted to another bunch of strings." Lord Hanuman said, "That should be very easy, O Kal. We can find any unoccupied bunch of strings and shift the child there." The Kal said, "O Hanumana, we cannot shift him to any random set of strings. Someone who has a blood relation with the child should donate his/her strings to the child. Then only we can shift him to the donated bunch of strings. The mother would be very happy to donate her strings to save her child." How many strings are required to save the child? Lord Hanuman asked. The Kal replied, "O Hanumana, a human being needs at least 7 strings of time to survive. The child's mother is a noble woman. Therefore she is currently having total 13 strings of time. The child requires 7 strings where we can shift him. After donating 7 strings to the child, the mother will be left with only 6 strings and her life will come in danger because of that." Lord Hanuman asked, "What about the child's father? Can he donate a string or 2? "No, Hanumana. He is having only 7 strings for himself. He is not in a position to donate any string." The Kal replied, That means either the child will survive or the mother. Both cannot survive together. Is there any other way out?" Lord Hanuman asked. The Kal replied, "O Hanumana, ordinary human beings can donate their time strings only to their blood relatives, but an ascetic can donate his strings to anyone. If we can find an ascetic who is on the path of moksha, he can donate his strings to either the child directly or to the mother." Lord Hanuman said, "O Kal, go and find any ascetic in nearby jungle who wish to meet me. Tell him that I am here and that he can meet me if he comes here fast. Tell him why he is required here." The Kal disappeared from there and appeared before an ascetic who was doing penance in a nearby jungle. The ascetic agreed to come immediately to the peasant's house when he was told that Lord Hanuman is in the house. He started walking fast from the jungle towards the peasant's house in village. Meanwhile Lord Hanuman went to the roof of peasant's house where the scared hungry monkeys were eating food provided by peasant's wife. He appeared before the monkeys in the form of a monkey. The monkeys immediately recognized him. Lord Hanuman blessed them and told them the way to the jungle. He advised them to stay on the roof till sunset and then move towards the jungle. Till sunset Lord Hanuman remained with them on the roof and spoke to them about various subjects. He told them stories about their past life karmas as to why they lost their way and got punished by the villagers. Setu's note: we are not including the conversation between Lord Hanuman and the monkeys in this chapter. Otherwise it will become too large. These conversations are not directly related to this chapter, hence can be published separately. After the sunset, the monkeys started their journey towards the jungle and Lord Hanuman came down from the roof. The ascetic had not come yet. There were only 10 minutes left before the child was to meet the dead end. Lord Hanuman summoned the Kal and asked, "O Kal, where is the ascetic? The child will die if he does not reach here within 10 minutes. The Kal replied, "O Hanumana, the ascetic is coming here as fast as he can. It will take another 30 minutes for him to reach here. We must find an alternative way to save the boy's life until the ascetic reaches here. If for now, the mother donates her 7 strings to the child will be saved. The mother can survive on 6 strings until the ascetic comes. Then the ascetic can donate a string to the mother." Lord Hanuman looked at the child and his mother. The mother was sitting near the child. Lord Hanuman said, "O Kal, the mother is praying that even at cost of her life the child should be saved. That means she is expressing her willingness to donate her strings. You can take 7 of her strings and take them below the child. That shouldn't be difficult for you." The Kal looked at the mother and said, "O Hanumana, look at the strings on which the mother is sitting. She is tightly holding on to all 13 strings. She has to leave at least 7 strings. I cannot take her strings forcefully. She has to leave them by herself. If her prayers are true and she really wants to sacrifice her own life for her child, then I don't understand why she is holding on to her strings so tightly. This only shows that she loves her own life more than that of her son." "No, Kal, it is not like that. Lord Hanuman told, she loves her child a lot. Out of love she is ready to sacrifice her own life to save her son. The problem, however, is the attachment she has with the child. Love and attachment are 2 opposite things. Love brings liberation while attachment brings fear. Because of the fear induced by attachment, she is holding tightly onto her strings. Then she must give up her attachment, Hanumana. Then only her hold onto the strings will become loose, and then only I can give her strings to her child." The time was running fast. Now only 4 minutes were left before the child was to hit the dead end. Lord Hanuman thought something and summoned Pavandev, the god of air. When Pavandev appeared, Lord Hanuman said, "O Pavandev, I request you to leave the body of this child immediately." Pavandev was surprised to hear this. He folded his hands and said, "O the Almighty Hanuman, you are the savior of your devotees. Why are you asking me to abandon the body of this child? As soon as I abandon his body, he will be dead. Let him live the 4 minutes which are left in his life. Then I will abandon his body as destined. Why are you asking me to abandon him immediately?" Lord Hanuman said, "O Pavandev, there is no time for discussion. Please abandon his body now." Pavandev immediately abandoned the body of the boy. As a result, the boy lost his breath. The charlatan declared him dead. The boy's father started crying. The mother went numb in disbelief. On hearing the cries of the peasant, neighbors came running to his house. The peasant's wife remained in disbelief for about 3 minutes. In 4th minute she broke down. When her mind believed that her child has died, all her hopes as well as hope-induced fears disappeared. As a result, her hold to the strings became loose. Lord Hanuman signaled to the Kal to do the needful. The Kal acted immediately and moved 7 strings of the mother towards the child. The child got placed on those 7 strings and came back to life immediately. The cries of sorrow in peasant's house turned into tears of happiness. Lord Hanuman breathed a sigh of relief. The Kal and Pavandev saluted Lord Hanuman for his wisdom. Lord Vishnu smiled from the Vaikuntham. Lord Hanuman bowed to him and accepted the compliment from his master. Job was half done yet. The life of peasant's wife was in danger now because she was left with only 6 strings after donating 7 strings to her child. She was not showing any sign of illness, but any danger, internal or external, could strike her any moment. The Kal assured Lord Hanuman, "O Hanumana, as I can see the future of this woman, nothing bad will happen to her for next 3 hours. By that time the ascetic will come and donate his strings to her." "O Kal, where is the ascetic right now? Has he entered into the village? How long will it take for him to reach here?" Lord Hanuman asked Kal. "He is nearby only, Hanumana. He will reach here in 20 minutes. The Kal informed, "When the ascetic comes to the house, the ascetic and the mother will be near to each other. But in order to execute the donation of time strings, the soul of the ascetic should also come near to the soul of the mother." "Then what is the problem, Kal? Why are you looking so worried? When the ascetic comes to this house, he will ask for food. The peasant's wife is a noble woman. She will serve the ascetic well. Then the ascetic will be pleased with her service and would want to give her a boon. That is how their souls will come near to each other. At that moment you can execute the donation of strings from ascetic to the mother." Lord Hanuman said, "O Hanumana, this village is full of ignorant, cynical and self-righteous people. There are so many men and women assembled in this house. I fear that these men and women will start talking rubbish about the ascetic. The ascetic will not get angry, but their talk may raise unnecessary doubts in the mind of the mother, and she may not be able to serve the ascetic with respect and love. Then her soul will not be able to come close to that of ascetic, and I won't be able to execute the donation of strings." The Kal expressed his fears. Lord Hanuman smiled, "O Kal, if I am at the house of this woman, then rest assured that she is not an ordinary woman. She is a noble woman who listens only to her soul. She won't listen to ignorant talk of these men and women. She will serve the ascetic with full respect and love. Do not worry." As destined, the ascetic reached the house after a few minutes. As the Kal was expecting, the neighbors assembled in peasant's house started talking rubbish about the ascetic. The ascetic stepped in the house and asked for food. His eyes were searching for Lord Hanuman inside the house. As soon as he asked for food, a voice emerged from group of ignorant self-righteous men, "The sun has set. Real ascetics never beg after sunset. You are therefore not a real ascetic." As the ascetic drifted bit inside in search of Lord Hanuman, another voice emerged from the group of self-righteous ignorant men, "Real ascetics eat leaves in jungle, and you have come here to eat tasty food? Your tongue is not in your control. What kind of ascetic are you?" The ascetic did not pay attention to this mindless chatter of ignorant men and women. He asked for food again and drifted bit more inside. Finally he saw Lord Hanuman standing in the courtyard with the Kal. The ignorant crowd was unaware of Lord Hanuman's presence. The ascetic came to the courtyard and prostrated before Lord Hanuman. When the crowd saw the ascetic lying down in the courtyard in position of prostration, another voice emerged from the crowd, "O you evil sorcerer, whom are you prostrating before? There is no one there. What sorcery are you doing? Get out of this house." Lord Hanuman blessed the ascetic and said, "Get up, O ascetic. I am pleased. Do not pay attention to what this ignorant set of men and women are saying. Their selfish minds generate self-righteous thoughts. But the peasant's wife is a noble woman. Go and give her opportunity to connect her soul with yours so that the Kal can execute the process of donating your time strings to her." The peasant and his wife were sitting in the veranda near their child. The wife was holding a glass of warm water from which the child was sipping water. The charlatan had told them to give warm water to the child. They were surrounded by neighbors. The ascetic went straight to the veranda and said to peasant's wife, "O noble woman, you seem to be the owner of this house. I am a wanderer ascetic currently stationed in a nearby jungle. Please give me some food, then I will go back to the jungle. The peasant's wife stood up and bowed to the ascetic. She said, Baba, I am not the owner of this house. I am also a traveler like you. My soul is traveling from one birth to another, and this house is where I am currently stationed in this birth. How can I be the owner of this house? This is just a stop in journey of my soul. The ascetic was very pleased to see the words of wisdom from a householder's mouth. She politely asked her neighbors to make room for the ascetic. She spread a mat and requested him to sit. She served the best food available in her kitchen for the ascetic. The neighbors started dispersing when they saw the peasant couple serving the ascetic. When the ascetic finished his food, the peasant's wife said, "O the wise one, it is already very dark. It is not safe to travel back to the jungle now. Please stay in our house. You can go to jungle in morning." The ascetic politely declined the request, but he was very happy by the service of peasant couple. This brought the soul of peasant's wife near to that of the ascetic. The Kal executed the donation of 3 strings from the ascetic to the peasant's wife, thereby making her total strings 9. Thus her life also became safe. After this incident, the woman lived her life peacefully. No trouble could touch her or her family, as Lord Hanuman protected them throughout their life. However, 2 major changes came in her life after this incident. 1. Because of 3 strings donated to her by the ascetic, her behavior became partially that of an ascetic. She stopped pursuing pleasures like a householder. Instead, she started pursuing moksha like an ascetic. 2. Because she had donated 7 of her strings to her son, she became extremely attached to her son. Because of this extreme attachment, she did not get moksha. The attachment was so high that her soul kept wandering around her son even after her death. Her soul did not take another body until her son also became old and died a natural death. After death of her son, she took birth in the mathang community to complete her pursuit of moksha. She was named Urmi. Her son also took birth around the same time but at another place. Thus in this birth, Urmi and the boy are of same age living at 2 different places. Therefore they are separated in this birth. She was getting seizures because her soul was not fully accepting this new birth in which she was separated from the boy with whom she was extremely attached in previous birth. She got a seizure on the 2nd day of Lord Hanuman's arrival in Mathangs when she went with some women to collect firewood. Setu's note: the boy who was the peasant's son in previous birth is currently living in a city called New Delhi in India. In next chapter you will read how Lord Hanuman cured Urmi's seizures and what did that boy experience in Delhi when Lord Hanuman was curing Urmi. Thank you everyone for listening this chapter. We will meet with another chapter very soon. Jai Shri Ram. And one another thing, we created this video differently. Please give us feedback about it, that you liked it or not and what should we can do to make it good. Thank you.